Hello everyone, it's Jaron with NCSI. I'm here once again because a new service update for EPM 2022 has dropped, and I want to make sure you are updated on all of the new features. First on our list, the client patch. So there's a link here to an article that takes you to this webpage. EPM SU client patch, starting with EPM 2022 SU3, we will no longer include the client patch. So if you would have installed service updates before, you would have a large zip file that contained the installation files for the core server and remote consoles. You would also have a smaller zip file that was the update for the agents, and you could take that zip file, put it in your patch manager, and actually deploy it using the patch manager. That's no longer the case. With the release of the new engine-based agent, which that has been a part of EPM 2022 since SU1, I believe. In this version, it is now enabled by default. And that's what they kind of want you to go to, is this new EBA. And the client patch is no longer necessary, nor an efficient way to upgrade the agent. Another reason not to include this patch is to ensure that there aren't any conflicts between the client patch and EBA. The client patch was only used for legacy. So that's what's changed. We're no longer going to have that installer. So they're going to start directing us towards moving to the engine-based agent. More information about the engine-based agent can be found in this link, which is open right here. Note, in EPM 2022 SU3, the engine-based agent UI is enabled by default and is fully supported. The legacy agent will continue to be available in EPM 2022, even after the EBA is no longer in beta. Now here's the interesting part. EPM 2024 will remove the ability to create or deploy legacy agents. So two things there. One, our legacy agent that we've been installing for years on end is going away in the next release. And two, our next release will be in 2024. Ivanti has moved to an every other year major release. So you'll continue to look forward to service updates in 2022. But there will be no EPM 2023. We'll be waiting until next year. Now I'm going to cover the engine-based agent in more detail on another video, but this document has a lot of information, including the differences between the EBA in SU1, in 2022 flat, SU2, and SU3. They added enough features in this latest release that they're now confident that you can begin using it. Alright, moving back to the release notes, there are a couple of things I'd like to point out to you. This one, Agent Common, this is just more information about that new engine-based agent. There is some stuff with autopilot. We can pre-name devices, in autopilot, so that once they have the agent installed and they go through that autopilot process, they will be named the intended name and not have a random name generated. You also have the ability to edit the download URL for the M365 app. Console, this one's kind of neat. They've added a serial number value in the device properties view. So if you right-click on a device in the console and go to properties, you will now see serial number. Azure AD support for EPM inventory to get the primary owner related information. Pretty cool. Lots of stuff in Mac. Ability to disable remote control. And this one's neat. Erase all content and settings for Mac. So we have a wipe option now available in EPM. Formerly, that was only really a thing that you could do with MDM and mobile devices, so that's pretty neat. Speaking of MDM, if you're still using that, they now have the version map for 22H2 set up properly. Okay, this one is big. This has been I don't know how many years it's been in the works, but provisioning. We're having a restart failed provisioning job from the last action. So it used to be that if a provisioning template failed, it would fail at a step and then that was it. You couldn't restart it. You would have to start over, or you'd have to make your own custom template that only had the steps in it that you'd like. This gives us the ability to just retry from wherever the failure occurred. So pretty handy, pretty new. I'm actually pretty excited for that. Another one, and I, as a deployment engineer, I would see users do this all the time in the UI. They would try and drag and drop actions from one area to another or to rearrange them. That didn't work until now. SU3 enables that ability. So this is just restating those two things, restart from failed and reorder actions with drag and drop. And they've also added DISM now as an available image type. Before it was image W, image X, and I think Ghost, and then Other, and now they have DISM built in, so you can do that. This one's kind of interesting. Allow fully qualified domain name for remote control tunnel core configuration. I've been putting in FQDNs from the beginning, but it's now officially supported, so make sure you do that if you're configuring a remote control tunnel. And this is really nice. The Web Console 2.0, they continue to add more features to it. Now they have the ability to drill down into vulnerability information on machines that are impacted by it. And I'd be interested to hear, drop a comment in the video if you're using IPv6. So IPv6 was not supported for unmanaged device discovery until this release. So I personally haven't come across anyone who uses IPv6 internally, so I would love to hear your experience. Beneath that, we do have some just defects fixed. Here's another one that I'd like to hear about, adaptive settings. I would love to know who's using adaptive settings and what they're using it for. So again, if you wouldn't mind dropping a comment below the video, I would really appreciate that, because I'd love to know how it's being used. I have not come up with a good use case for it yet. Okay, and then just some other light fixes here and there. Nothing that we really need to worry about or talk about. So that is the new SU3. I've installed it in my lab. I've been playing with those engine-based agents, and I will have a video for you sometime in the near future with that. But for today, at least, that's it. Wanted to show you around SU3. If you have any questions or would like help installing it, please let us know. Have a wonderful day.